All right, what's up, guys? My name is Stephen Widani with 5 Tool Sports Science. We got a video breakdown today of Roger Inoa. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Roger. I apologize if not. Okay, let's look at some of his metrics. All right, so name Roger Inoa, age 19, height and weight 5'11", 178 pounds, velocity 76 to 78 miles per hour. He has occasional intense forearm pain after throwing. His performance concern, he has plateaued velocity. So he wants to gain some velocity. Stated goals, obviously add velocity, and then improve his lower half mechanics. Okay, so athletic profile, some of his stuff, reported strength numbers, all he really had was back squat was 295 pounds. Trap bar deadlift was 335 pounds. He says he can touch a 10-foot basketball rim with no momentum, so he didn't have any, athletic metrics, sprint speeds, vertical jumps, single leg vertical jumps, rotation power mobility, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So not a ton of information other than those two strength metrics, and he can touch a 10-foot basketball rim with no momentum. So, all right, let's get right into it. So some of the observations and recommendations. Okay, so pretty strong in bilateral exercises. I mean, not like crazy strength, but you're really doing a lot more of, deadlifts, squats. And when I watched your mechanics, Roger, it looks like you really need to have an emphasis on developing single leg strength. So pitching is done on one leg, guys. We got to get really strong on single legs. So, it's good to have big squats, deadlifts. Those are very, conventional compound movements. But what's going to be much more transferable to the baseball field is being strong on single legs. So definitely want to get stronger there. And then you definitely look like a guy who is probably stronger than he is fast. Okay, so you look like a thicker built guy. They tend to be really strong, but they have to work on more of the speed and explosiveness side of things. Okay, so I would definitely encourage you to do that. Get stronger on single leg. Get stronger. And then emphasize more of power and speed type movements through plyometrics, Olympic lifts, ballistic exercises, working more on the speed side of the equation than just trying to drive up strength numbers. So, like I said, unilateral strength, speed and power training. And then just trunk strength and power, and then arm strength and stability. Having a nutrition plan to continue muscle development, recovery, and performance. 5'11", 178 pounds, like not bad weight. But if you can improve that body composition, basically just building more lean muscle mass, losing body fat, building more lean muscle mass, trying to get towards, typically for a 5'11" to 6 foot guy, that 5'10" to 6 foot at the MLB level, they tend to be right around 200 pounds. So if you could add 12 more pounds of lean muscle mass, that's probably going to help you throw harder. And most importantly here, I would say, bro, you need a structured arm care program due to that recurring forearm pain. I would highly recommend looking into dynamometer testing. Dr. Ryan Croton and Arm Care are kind of crushing it with that right now. It's pretty affordable for a dynamometer, and you can measure that every single day and see what your muscular imbalances, shoulder imbalances, and grip strength levels are at. Okay, so if you're having that intense forearm pain, I would highly recommend looking into that. Okay, pitching mechanics. Let's go to our breakdown. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay, got you at leg lift here, peak knee height. Let's see how you start moving down the mound. All right. So it's hard to tell from this angle. I can't really see how much linear momentum you picked up, but to me it kind of looks like, it's more of like a drop and drive style delivery. So it doesn't look like you're picking up a ton of linear momentum. That being said, really good job of loading into the back leg. You're sitting in deflection. Your force vector as you start moving forward looks like you get yourself into a pretty good back leg force vector position. It does look like you're kind of opening that front side a little bit initially, but you're still doing a good job of holding that back leg load position. Now, as you're going forward with this arm, here's where a lot of stuff kind of gets a little screwy with you. Okay, so you go to your, I would say you're kind of at your peak separation here. All right, your arm is already going into external rotation. Your trunk is as pulled back and as separated as possible. Problem is, we have not hit front foot strike yet. Okay, so you're going to lose a lot of this torque. What's going to happen is you can already see that this glove side, what a terrible arrow, I'm sorry, is starting to, pull off that direction. All right, so it's going to start to pull your trunk around. You're going to early trunk rotate as we get into front foot strike. Let's go back a frame. Beep. Come on. Right about there. Okay. As you get into front foot strike, you can see it's pulled around, and then we've just lost a lot of that hip to shoulder separation and torque into front foot strike. Okay, so that's going to be one of your biggest issues, is that early trunk rotation. Two, if we're looking at the hips, you have a good stride length. Like, I think you get a good bit of linear aspects of your delivery, but you're missing a lot of the rotational aspects of your delivery. So I think some of the big things that you're going to benefit from working on is kind of training a little bit more of that back hip rotation. At the same time, working on some of that disassociation from the hips and the shoulders, and then timing that into front foot strike. So it's a big timing issue for you. You're initially getting yourself, separated and pulled back, but you're not getting that into front foot strike. So you're losing all that torque. It's like you pulled your rubber band back, but then as you came into front foot strike, it's like you lose all the tension in the band. So you want to be able to pull that rubber band back, but then hit front foot strike, and everything is still torqued and closed. That front foot strike decelerates and it gives your trunk a really strong base for you to rotate your trunk really violently off of. You're just losing a lot of that, okay? Going through shoulder rotation, maybe a little bit of, if we draw a line through your shoulders, maybe a tiny little bit of arm height, but it looks like you get good layback into it, but maybe trying to keep that elbow a little bit more on plane with your rotation might just be a sign that you need to work a little bit more just on rotation in general in your delivery. Okay. Also, I mean, I can't even tell, like, from this angle, like, it looks like you might even be going beyond 180 degrees on your layback. It's hard to tell without doing a motion capture. But that can kind of relate to a lot of the torque on your that valgus load for your forearm. Okay, so again, I think just building up a ton of strength in that arm is really going to benefit you from a health perspective and a velocity perspective as well. It just helps you keep that arm positioning into front foot strike more effectively. Okay, so then let's go forward. Let's look at the front knee here. So, boom, let's call this foot strike. Let's make our dot. Oh, well, too late. Make our dot. Okay, so as you go forward into ball release, there's your ball release. You can see not a lot of deceleration. So that knee is just moving a lot. It's drifting forward a lot. You're not stopping your linear momentum and bracing that front side and allowing energy to, rotate faster in the trunk. So, that's where I think the single leg strength and explosiveness and power, by the time you hit front foot strike, guys, you have 0.1 seconds. It's very reactive, okay, to ball release. So if you don't have the strength and power on that front leg, it's really hard for you to decelerate, okay? So like high velocity guys can decelerate, they'll stop that front leg, and then what they'll do, what most of them will do is they start to get some front leg extension. So this knee, they'll look at like knee extension velocity, how quickly they're extending that knee, and that correlates highly with ball velocity. So you're not getting much deceleration, you're not getting any, knee extension into ball release, which is going to push that energy back up the chain, back up into the trunk, and create that strong, stable base for you to maximize your trunk rotation velocity. Okay, so that's going to be a big one for you. And then again, what that also does is when you're getting that good front leg extension, is that'll typically push you into more forward trunk tilts. So you're throwing a little bit upright. Okay, so I think that getting a better front leg block, getting more deceleration and extension in that front leg is significantly going to help you. All right, so let's go back to our notes just to make sure I covered everything. All right. Pitching mechanics. Okay, back leg, linear momentum. Good back leg load and force vector. Yeah. Some initial direction, but you are using more of a drop and drive style, which kind of limits your linear momentum. So improve drive leg rotation, coordination, and timing to improve your sequencing and early trunk rotation. So I definitely think, bro, you got to do a lot of drills where you're going to work on, you know, your hips rotating and keeping that trunk closed. So disassociation drills, getting your hips moving forward, timing that into front foot strike. So a lot of that key is what's happening as soon as your front foot strike is hitting. You're just losing all of that torque at front foot strike. So the better you can get at you know, keeping your trunk delayed, rotating your hips forward, staying closed, and timing that into front foot strike is going to help you. So there's drills to do that, but I also think that there's you know, probably some strength training in your trunk and in your lower half that you probably need to be doing. You know, building that lower half power, building that trunk, you know, that core strength, that core stability, that arm strength, that arm stability. It all works as a system to get your body into the correct positions once you hit front foot strike. Okay, so I definitely, you know, recommend working on some of that. Upper body, the main issue was early trunk rotation, triggered by that glove side pull, leads to a loss of hip to shoulder separation, reduced stretch and torque, and then poor arm positioning at front foot strike. Your front leg and trunk control, so the front leg lacks deceleration, it drifts and remains in flexion, does not brace and extend through release. Kind of talked about that. This prevents the efficient energy transfer through trunk rotation, yes, and contributes to minimal forward trunk tilt. So we addressed some of that stuff. So okay, so the mechanical fixes, kind of what we talked about: improve drive leg rotation and timing, improve your hip to shoulder separation, so improving your ability to delay that trunk rotation and rotate that pelvis forward, improve your front leg deceleration and extension, and then increase your forward trunk tilt. So some of your next steps, I would definitely say strength, power, nutrition plan, specifically unilateral and rotational work. Then implementing a arm care program, especially for that forearm. You want to be able to get as much grip strength. You got, you know, your bicep, your tricep, you got to get that forearm and grip strength as strong as possible to support that elbow joint. You probably just don't have enough strength there in your forearm, possibly in your biceps, triceps, and possibly even in your shoulders. So if there's any weak links in the chain, we're rotating so fast, it can be a limiting factor for your velocity, but it also can be a limiting factor for your health. So I would highly recommend you look into that. And what else do we got? Establish baseline athletic metrics. You don't know what you don't know, man. You could be jumping, you know, 12 inches off of that back leg and your drive leg and your stride leg. So you got to know how you're producing force on one leg. That's the value of testing and learning some of your athletic metrics. You guys might not have access to motion capture, but you know, there's a ton of stuff that you can do at home with a tape measure and start to get an understanding of those metrics for yourself. Okay. And then begin a mechanical progression that focuses on lower half efficiency and your drive leg rotation, work on that hip to shoulder disassociation and trunk control, improve your front leg deceleration, extension, and forward trunk tilt, and staying behind the baseball. So I hope it helps, man. I would definitely, you know, start implementing. I would really start, if it was me, I would really start looking at that front leg, knocking that out at first, and then just keep working on that timing of, you know, your pelvis rotation and keeping the trunk closed into front foot strike. So I hope it helps, guys. If you guys want to do a video analysis, reach out to me through Instagram. Go ahead and send me a video. They do start to stack up on me, and I kind of get a little bit overwhelmed. I have to get to my paid clients first, so it might take some time, but I'm going to do my best to keep cranking out some of these, you know, at least on a weekly basis. And I hope it's providing you guys with some value. Let me know if you guys have any questions or if you're interested in training with us. Go ahead and reach out. All right, boys, have a good one.